I thought it'd be cool to crack open something that we made with Masamoto peaches. These were Suncrest peaches from 3 or 4 years ago, and we actually froze these with liquid nitrogen, which we should do again sometime because it's kind of a blast. We had some friends come up. We were making like mead ice cream and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So is that just about breaking the cell walls down in the peaches, or?
Yeah, and I think in theory you do a little bit of like sanitation because it's like so cold. I don't think too many things are gonna survive in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, they froze darn near solid in, you know, almost instantly. And I definitely ruined a tamale pot every time that we did it because we would take an old mash pad and just have to like jam it in, and you're basically breaking up peach ice cubes.
Huh.
And then we would throw them into, you know, a big old sterilized sack, and we'd be ready to ferment. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Seobo. Look at that, looks like it's made from peaches.
Oh yeah, that smells good. I've only had the barrel aged version of this, so I'm excited to try it.
It still smells like remarkably fresh.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean,
That's
it
good.
even looks like peach juice.
That's really good. Yeah, still a very bright fruit character. So this is like 3 or 4 years old?
Yeah. It's kind of fun to see how mead holds up with proper storage, a nice cork, and all of that.
Oh, I could drink a lot of that.
It's so damn hot today, and this is like the perfect thing for such a hot day.
Yeah, it's really nicely balanced. Like, has enough acid from the peaches. Very refreshing.
Would you say this is like sweet or semi-sweet?
Semi-sweet to me.
I think so for a mead, yeah.
And like I said, it's got that like still pretty zippy acidity. It's very balanced. It doesn't perceive as super sweet. Like, it's kind of in and out.
I think that's one of the things we do best here. And sometimes we'll do something that's not in balance on purpose to have like a different aspect of it accentuated. But I think most of the time hitting that semi-sweet 12 to 14% ABV for still meads that are elegant like this is kind of the sweet spot.
Oh yeah. You got to be able to drink it, right? And I kind of think about it when I go to buy stuff, like, am I going to drink a whole bottle of that? Or am I going to buy it and forget about it for 6 months till I have people over I want to drink it with? This I could finish.
Yeah, I think I could just chug that. It's so good.
Yeah, kind of just did.
So this year, what are we going to do with Masamoto fruit? We're doing something we've never done before.
Yeah, so we're really excited to use the fruit this year for one of our guild meads, which is kind of when we let to get the artists run wild. And so we're doing whole fruit fermentation in the must of nectarines and peaches. Do a little bit of extended aging on the fruit, and then we're gonna put that into port barrels. So we got the first half last week. We got our nectarines last week, and we got that fermentation done. So that's finished out. That's where it's gonna settle. And that's sitting on the fruit right now. So we'll look into pressing that early next week. Use the press as a giant strainer. It's just gonna turn to mush in there. But get as much of the fruit character as we possibly can out of that. And we'll set that aside while we have the peach half fermenting. So we kind of learned a little bit from the first one. We got more peaches, less volume on the must. So we have enough to hit our volume for the barrels, but get the most like juicy character we possibly can. And we'll see how it goes after the port barrel.
So what do you have here?
Right here is the nectarine portion. So it's just off the tank. It just finished fermenting yesterday. And it's just kind of hanging out, mingling with some nectarines. And these were rose diamond nectarines that we got this year.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. So still really fleshy.
Yeah, and you get that still the fresh yeast characters you'd expect because it was done yesterday, which takes me back to the homebrewing days. Mm-hmm. And the old tolerance I built up to the laxative properties of fresh yeast. That is delicious.
Yeah, the fruit came through really nicely. So I think the two halves together is going to make for a really fun product.
And I was expecting this to be a bit petulant, but it's really settled out nice. Like, you know it's done, and just delicious.
Oh, I got in there with the punch down tool and made sure the CO2 was getting out of there.
Dude, so good. You know, I thought it'd be fun is to try to drink this and to take a bite of these peaches that we're processing today to put in there.
I'm into that.
That is perfect. Oh, there you go. Can you do this like a lemon?
It's not working very well.
It makes a mess, but it's kind of...
Yeah.
Well, we can plant a peach tree out there.
I mean, if you eat a peach and it doesn't make a mess, it wasn't a very good peach.
That is delicious. You
Yep.
can tell it just adds. I mean, it's very complimentary because, you know, nectarines are basically shaved peaches, right? Mm-hmm. It's pretty similar botanically, but you can tell the flavor's a little bit different. It just adds another layer.
And so we thought about that with these peaches. I think we're going to go a little bit sweeter on this half.
Okay.
We'll try and retain some of the juiciness.
Nice.
Really make sure it pops on the other side of the barrel.
That's cool. This is going to be one of the best stone fruit meads ever made, I think.
I'm really excited about it.
If it tastes good the day after it's done fermenting, and then you have fruit that's this good,
Yeah.
and it is not cheap to buy this kind of fruit, but it is really awesome. I mean, it's like the best peach I've ever had.
Well, and that's what's exciting about getting to work with this kind of fruit. You know, you don't get to work with great fruit all the time, but to be able to work with like truly world-class ingredients is always such a pleasure because the liquid comes out great every time.
Good in the front end, good in the back end. Mm-hmm. Right on, dude. Outstanding work.
Cheers.